Hi, and in today's video I'm going to walk you through how I wrote the score for my submission for the STARGIRL competition. Hi everyone, I'm Euan, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here and you would like to learn more about how to make your music masterpiece as well as how to use lots of different sound libraries, then please consider giving this channel a subscription, subscribe, thumbs up, as well as tinging that bell notification so that you don't miss a beat. So, I submitted my score very recently to the STARGIRL competition. It took me 3 attempts. So in this walkthrough I'm going to show you each of the 3 attempts and how they varied and the approaches that I did for each of them, especially the one that I ended up submitting as well. But before we do that though, do consider having a look below as well, because I've got some exciting opportunities for you in the description below. So if you would like to then click through the timeline for this video, I've got chapter markings for you down in the description, as well as links to other things such as my socials and some places where you can download and listen to some of my music as well. Switcher Studio, you can use all of your existing iOS devices and cast your computer screen all in one production. Create professional slick live streams and record and edit video with just one tap. Create amazing overlays, lower thirds, sound clips, titles, and even import existing video to your stream and trigger them from the comfort of your hands. Edit and display multi-view panels for up to 9 iOS devices whilst you stream, and automate the switching of these to give you hands-free control of your productions. Invite up to 4 friends anywhere in the world to join your live stream and have them in your production as if they were in the same room. Stream in crisp 1080p and have studio quality sound. I've used the app to make all of the YouTube videos on my channel, so I absolutely love it and I know that you will too. So if you fancy giving Switcher Studio a try, then why don't you use the links below. Use the code EUAN30 and then go to the link bit.ly/GetSwitcherStudio to be able to have a free 30-day trial. So go on, have a go. I've also got free tips and training over at my group Mobile Live Streaming Success on Facebook. It'd be great to see you there. I have got quite a big kind of template that I used here. Just on the top we've just got quite a few Spitfire libraries and 1 or 2 East-West libraries as well. So we use some motions, a nice elegant mix, which I was able to come up with a template for that quite nicely, and then use that quite straightforwardly. Underneath there you've got Opus Orchestrator. Moving on down then, I've got a few more of the East-West sounds, specifically Waterphones and the Penderecki strings, which I ended up using for the first couple of submissions but not for the final one. And I have got quite a few strings, brass, woodwind, and of course percussion. As soon as the film started, I started the music as full on as I possibly could.
The bus!
So here I'm setting up all of the different themes that you'll be able to hear. So there's a little bit of a theme that I used for the Iron Giant, and STARGIRL'S theme and Iron Giant's theme are very full on. Now in this scene you'll see the introduction of Joey, who is a high school student and a budding magician, and you'll see how that becomes relevant later on. A short kind of theme which I use just like that, and that comes through quite the way through as well. So you're going to hear the 2 themes. The first one is going to be for Iron Giant, and then the next one's going to be for STARGIRL.
He's looking right at me.
Not for long.
So in this section of the video, which I will mute and then play again, so I was using quite an extensive amount of brass and strings and percussion, and I wanted to have as many kind of contrapuntal overlapping layers as I possibly could in the run-up. And then when both themes came in, they were very much unified, they're very much homophonic, so all the orchestrations are playing together pretty much at the same time. So I wanted that theme to cut through quite vividly, because it's the themes that I then play with later on in the music, as you will hear shortly. So So with this particular section, I have got a really nice link into what is then to become ICICLE, the appearance of ICICLE. Now in this clip, he appears for the first time, but in the episode itself, he's actually already appeared. So I wanted something that was fairly understated, not too sudden. As you'll see from the previous two examples that I will show you, I treated this as if it's a big epic moment of his arrival. And actually, in showing this to some friends and family, they said it's a bit too sudden, and I think it could be sort of brought back a bit to make it more sinister, to build up to the inevitable that happens to Joey at the end of the clip. So this is ICICLE and his introduction. So from then on, you'll hear that I had a choir, and I managed to program the choir to sing I Am Power, and I had the female and male choirs singing those. And in addition to that, I had really nice deep strings, bass strings, and of course the nice kind of scraped cymbal sound as well. I used some other sounds from East West, which included some of the Opus Orchestrator just to get some of the hits. But again, you'll see from the examples I'm about to show you later on in this video how that differed from when I had used them originally. They were kind of heavy metal, clanking metal, lots of Collegno tapping on the wood of the bow to make it sound kind of icy and things like that, which I thought creatively was quite good, but then ended up to be a bit too much just for the scene, to be honest. So it leads into the end of the music. Just have a quick listen. I was quite pleased of how I then brought back in the theme for Joey, and then brought back in a slower, more melancholic theme for Stargirl. So instrumentation wise, I used a classic orchestra with also some additional sounds as well, some sound effects. I actually was going to use Spitfire's hammers, but they were a bit too much for this particular version. So I was really pleased that I managed to work in a theme for Iron Giant. I was really pleased I worked in a theme for Stargirl. Really made people know that that was their theme, and I was then able to then treat the rest of the clip with those themes interweaving with some of the more emotional melodic elements as well with the instruments. So something that took me 3 attempts. I'm going to share with you now what the first attempt was like.
I got it. The king's looking right at me.
Not for long.
So hopefully you've picked up from all the 3 different versions how things progressed over time. I'm just going to show you now the themes that were used for both Iron Giant and Stargirl and show you the melodies for those. By the way, if you want to download the actual final score as an audio file, it'll be available to stream over on my SoundCloud page, details of which are in the description below as well. So let's have a look at the themes that I mentioned. So first of all, we started with the theme, which for Iron Giant was this. When I move on to Stargirl's, then have a quick listen to how hers was. So that gusto brass line is really nice and gritty and in your face. So when you're talking about Joey, it was just quite simply... And that actually appears when he first appears on the bus as well. So as he falls, you just hear that diddly-ding really quickly. So a really simple kind of theme there as well. You'll be able to watch this film in full. I'll leave the link for this down in the description below, as well as you'll be able to watch the others in full, which I'll keep as unlisted videos on my channel. So I do hope that you will enjoy watching those as well. And of course, have a look at the details of the Patreon and other links down below as well. I think you'll find those massively interesting. I'll be having lots more of these types of videos coming out soon, as well as looking at other sound libraries. I've got one coming out soon with some of the newer libraries from Spitfire, including hammers. So make sure you're subscribed for that as well. And as ever, thank you very much for watching. Drop a thumb if you like it. Share it with your friends if you think there'll be something you're interested in. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.